Okay, here we are August 4th with a real quick update on my deep water culture. The deep water culture was actually started on May the 20th. I had them outside briefly, but then a sudden cold spell hit and I had to move them back inside. And they were placed back outside on June the 5th. If you will note, this first plant is actually a big boy. I picked about 4 tomatoes off this plant. There's about 15 more set on. Incidentally, all of these deep water culture tomatoes out front here gets maximum sunshine in the afternoon through the evening, and they're all about 7 foot tall. They've grown clear up to the eaves spouts, in some cases clear underneath the porch roof. The second tomato is a actually I made a mistake. It's a super steak. This super steak is quite a large tomato. I picked one. It was approximately softball size. A very tasty tomato. There's several more nice sized tomatoes setting on at this time. The next tomato is a pink brandywine. It has about 2 or 3 tomatoes set on. Very healthy plant. The next tomato is the star of this year. It is a big beef. I've picked about 6 big beef. It's a very healthy plant, very tasty, and one that I'll definitely want more of next year. You are now looking at the backside of these same tomatoes. You will note there's some right big beef right here, and they're about ready to be picked. In fact, just looking at them makes my mouth water right now. You'll also notice that I have some lighting here on the back side. I just installed this lighting today. It will run on a timer from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. As we all know, the summer is growing to a close, and there is less daylight hours on a daily basis, so I'm trying to trick Mother Nature a little bit and spur on a little more fruitation. Both of these lights are 300 watt equivalent CFLs, and they're a color wavelength that promotes fruiting. I have used these indoors successfully. I will try this on the outside for 3 or 4 weeks just to see what happens. Just to give you a quick update here on a little experiment, this is the potato plant that I set out in a deep water culture just 3 weeks ago. It's growing quite nicely. It has a lot of roots hanging down out of the basket. I tried this experiment 3 years ago in a 2.5 inch net cup in an aeroponics system, and I actually set tomatoes on it and grew them up to approximately quarter size, potatoes, and grew them up to about a quarter size. So I thought I'd try it again in deep water culture just to see what happens. As you look down the front of my porch here, you can see that these tomatoes are all quite large. The last 5 buckets are Dutch buckets. They're not quite as big, but all these tomatoes are clear up to the eaves spout. Many of them are growing under the roof. I will have to make some adjustment next year, because I think potentially all of these could be 8 to 10 foot tall plants. Here on the end, you will see a plant that was really my star up until just recently. It's approximately 9 foot tall. I had to put an extension on because it's grown clear up over the roof. the porch. I've picked approximately 6 tomatoes on this, and there's 26 more set on. Unfortunately, the blight is set in and a lot of the lower foliage is depleted. On the left is a large Sunglow cherry tomato. This is the largest cherry tomato plant I've ever had. It's about 7 foot tall and 3 to 4 foot wide. I would guess there's 200 to 300 cherry tomatoes set on with more blossoms. If you look real close here, you can see a couple of them. They're already ripe. This is called a Sunglow cherry. They're quite sweet. Here on the end of my complex, I have 4 deep water culture ghost peppers. 3 of these ghost peppers are really doing great. They've got nice size. Several peppers set on and more blossoms. One is not doing so great. I don't know what happened. It was set here on the left. It was set out at the same time, same solution. It's just not growing. Up against the wall of my garage is a real nice hillbilly. It's about 5.5 foot tall. It doesn't have any fruit set on, but the blossoms will soon open up. This is a very good tomato, very healthy tomato, and very tasty. Further over, you will see another yellow tomato. This one actually has several blossoms and some small tomatoes that is set on. Here is another Boston pickling cucumber. This one is a deep water culture. It's about ready to pick. It was set out the same time that the Dutch bucket Boston pickling cucumber was set out, and the plant's not doing quite as well, but it's still not bad. All in all, this has been a very good summer for my hydroponics. The best. This is my 3rd summer. This is the best I've ever had. My yield is really looking good. You're now looking at a spot in the yard where I will soon have a greenhouse. I've been putting this off for far too long, so I'm going to take a stab at it in a couple of weeks. I will give you regular updates on YouTube. I'm going to build it all myself. I'm even going to bend my hoops. They may be as crooked as a dog's hind leg, but I have to start somewhere. So have a good day, everybody. I'll see you next time.